Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast, infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy. Massive failure. You didn't bleep that out worth a damn.
I did. The problem was it was still audible. Because I nailed it.
All I'm saying is...
It don't need to be heard at all, is what you say.
Yeah.
No check, no verbiage.
To hell with why you threw the pass. It shouldn't have been thrown at all. I don't care what happened. My arm got hit. You shouldn't have been throwing that way in the first place. That's why it's a pick six.
Suave.
Yo.
What's the name of the episode today?
Pop-Tart.
Is this Pop-Tart?
It is.
Oh, that's right, because we didn't do one. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's Pop-Tart. What'd you think it was?
So that's an extra segment we got to talk about too. That made me remember that we didn't talk about that segment. So this is I'm asking for a specific reason, but
okay.
First of all, 10 bell salute. We haven't started the show with a 10 bell salute in quite some time. I felt today was necessary. On last Saturday, May the 10th, Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
2025.
I got 5 on it.
Got it good. The wrestling world lost pro wrestling icon, hardcore pioneer, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal maniac known as Sabu at the ripe old age of 60. So not only is this your daily acknowledgement, we gotta one time for Sabu.
I feel like I'm gonna start throwing fire now.
The right way, not because you're a wizard.
Nah, between Sabu going to the great hereafter to the big top rope and watching Dark Side of the Ring on the Sheik, I feel like number one, not enough people are throwing fire, and number two, and most importantly, not enough people are throwing fire correctly.
That part. You don't have to be a wizard to know how to throw fire correctly. In fact, I would prefer you don't be a wizard to throw fire correctly.
Yeah, don't be a wizard.
Taz,
don't you ever.
Taz, Sabu, two people both that suffered broken necks.
Yes.
At the hands of each other, if I'm not mistaken.
No. The Unmentionable is responsible for Sabu's.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Taz's came from a tag match. He got a spike pile driven, and I don't think Sabu was a part of that.
Okay, but regardless, when Taz came over to Eastern Championship Wrestling, it was Sabu that gave him the rub that begot Taz's awesome career as the Human Suplex Machine. We don't know what Taz's career pans out to be without that Sabu match, or without Paul Heyman for that matter. I mean, he could have just been one of those enhancement talents that just goes by the wayside. But we got two great careers out of it. And of course, Sabu, a lot of people don't remember this, but WCW was a Halloween Havoc 96.
Wait. One more time.
I think Halloween Havoc 96 was when Sabu showed up in WCW.
95.
Okay, so I know I had the pay-per-view right, just had the wrong year.
Yeah. That's the one where Good Tritarian and Paul White had a monster truck battle on top of a building.
Oh, and the Giant died. And it came back. And it came back the next week.
The Giant died in segment 2, but he came back in segment 15 for the main event. What the hell? Who was man? What type of drugs?
Sleep behind the wheel, bruh. But anyway, that's it. That ain't about this. We on something else.
Right.
Sabu jumps over the top rope. He does a dive over the top rope, lands on his uncle, whose uncle is trying to protect him, ends up breaking his leg. What does the Sheik do? As a true professional, he stays out for the remainder of the damn match and even throws some fire with a broken leg.
I got a cane with me. What else you gonna do?
Yeah, Sabu was like, you made some people, the way Sabu's style is so polarizing. Either you watched it and you hated it, or you watched it and you absolutely loved it. If you lived in the moment, you couldn't help but continue to watch it. Suave, you were there. You were outside.
Yes, this is all a part of my wheelhouse. I was 100% knee deep, 10 toes into the ECW revolution. I remember catching wind of Taz and Sabu specifically, like through Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Like, I'm buying those magazines and I'm like, this is, at the time, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. I need to see what's going on with this. And come to find out, they described and marketed Sabu as perfectly as you can describe and market a talent. Homicidal, suicidal, genocidal. Made you think that this man was really not all there. He didn't speak. I didn't hear Sabu utter one word until he was in WWE.
And you know what's crazy? It was by design, because I saw something where when the Sheik got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, not only was it because of Sabu being the one to induct him posthumously, but RVD was also trained by the Sheik. And apparently the Sheik was not too big on words.
I mean, that's cool and all, but I'm just like, the fact that that's the type of character dedication that you only see from like the greats of the greats. Like, this man, I don't remember hearing this man speak for what has to be a decade.
Yeah, it was a very, very long time. He was because he was there with Bill Alfonso,
who did all the talking.
Talking right down the middle, daddy.
You feel me?
Yeah. There's so much stuff out there.
Human car crash.
There's so much stuff out there on the internet. There's so much stuff out there on the CAC. You have got to go entertain yourself. If you are not familiar with Sabu's body of work, go treat yourself.
You need to go see a physician if you got all that going on.
I will say one more thing, though.
What's that?
Sabu's last match was, I believe, April the 19th against Joey Janela in an extreme death match.
You are correct. WrestleMania weekend.
What you don't need to do, Joey Janela and other people in the pro wrestling industry, is talk about a substance that somebody who was on to help eliminate pain a month before, or a month, well, actually, the week after he died, so the week of his death.
A legal substance.
A legal substance, and it paints the wrong picture because of the why people have access to this and why people use it to begin with.
Right, you start to put the idea of foul play around the death of someone who was literally in a death match. Like,
you also put the idea of that being a gateway to higher things that may already be in the system or have been in the system. And you probably wouldn't be wrong either way, but why are we doing that with a 60-year-old?
Right. If you were just to tell me a 60-year-old man died as a result of injury sustained during this match, and I've seen basically the highlight package of this match, totally would believe it. It wouldn't be hard to sell me on that. Then you tell me it's Sabu, who has had a history of medical emergencies. He is a walking medical emergency, given the way that he's given his body for the sport.
His torso was a Halloween costume.
That man was a piñata full of high spots.
For decades.
Like, for what he gave, you know how some people, they know that they're only here for one purpose, so they're going to give literally everything to that purpose, regardless of how it affects lifespan. I feel like this is one of those cases where you're like, oh no, they should get to end up being 90. Like, what does 90-year-old Sabu even think about besides jumping off a table onto someone in the senior center.
Or better yet, how much it hurts.
And then there's that.
Like, I can't think of a wrestler, Mick Foley included, whose body is more banged up than Sabu's was at the time of Sabu's passing. And if you can find me one, please challenge me. So, Sabu, thank you for your contributions.
Indeed.
We are fans for the rest of our lives for sure. We really hope that it was natural causes, but something just doesn't seem natural about a 60-year-old passing.
I mean, this is not your average 60-year-old. I'll keep it G. Just like, if you get a chance to see the highlight package or you see the whole package of what ultimately was his last match, it's a, I don't want to call it a comedy of errors, but it's just like, hey, bruh, I think we could have done something completely different. Like
it's the legitimate Rikishi, hey man, conversation.
Yes, unprotected chair shot to the dome piece. Like, hey man, y'all saw what happened to Mick.
Yeah.
And then look who your dance partner was. Your dance partner is an admittedly untrained.
Yeah, he no business doing
no formal training whatsoever. We just gonna go out here and figure it out.
I never have been a fan. Will never be a fan. And I've seen your knuckle game too. I don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder what Enzo thinks of it. Anyway.
Yeah. So rest in peace to Sabu. Also got some more bad news, not as bad as Sabu. Legendary broadcaster, two-time Hall of Fame broadcaster, both of our childhoods for different reasons. Yep. The legendary Jim Ross was diagnosed with colon cancer with surgery scheduled for next week.
Well, JR cannot catch a break in these streets.
I hate to say this, bruh. Win, lose, or draw. Number one, we all hope JR kicks out because fuck cancer.
Absolutely.
Number two, again, win, lose, or draw. We already have 2 episodes of next season Dark Side of the Ring. Sabu and Jim Ross. Because people forget, as much as they love Jim Ross, they forget Jim Ross has gone through some shit in these last few years.
Yeah. Now, you make an interesting point, but if I'm Jim Ross, do I want to sit down and do that episode, considering, like, it's almost like you're recording, that feels, like, real ominous.
Let me just
say it that way.
Let me ask you this. Well, okay, so let's think about it like this. I'm sure the episode hasn't... You and I, we're avid watchers of Dark Side of the Ring.
Facts.
We didn't talk about it this season as much as we wanted to because we're letting it digest. We're letting it breathe before we come back and do it because
there's a reason for it.
Yeah, we got you. I promise we got you on the Dark Side talk. But one thing I have noticed this season is that they're using a lot of old interview clips and then also new with some of the same people. One of those people being Sabu, which leads me to believe they may have already done Sabu's while doing the Sheik's.
It's very much possible. Very much. Now, I think Sabu's episode would take a completely different approach given how his life ended.
Oh, there's definitely another. That's the last segment. That is the last segment.
It feels like more of the episode would be about the last match in general. Like, the last match is the episode.
That's an episode. Because I still want to hear the life and times that were Sabu, because what he said about himself and his relationship with the Sheik alone, like, that's compelling.
Facts.
Like, that man's childhood is compelling. Not something that you want to go relive, but it's something that you want to hear about to understand how this man thought.
From what I've ever heard about the Dark Side of the Ring production team and how they put stuff together, a lot of these are, let's just say they're not released in the order they're recorded.
Right. Yeah, absolutely not.
I would assume they have a list of topics they're going to do. They shoot them, put them together, and then when it's time to put out a season, It's just cherry picking like what's gonna be what.
Yeah.
I don't think they do like regular episodic television or even a sitcom where you map out a season, shoot the season, and that's what you release. Like, no, they're just shooting content, finishing content. We'll drop it when we feel like it.
Right. All right.
Because at this point, it's a rolling tax write-off. You can shoot all day long.
All day long. Yep.
Yes.
I mean, and not for nothing, as we get older, more stories will be written, because it seems like after 6 episodes or 6 seasons, 60 episodes, that we wouldn't have enough to talk about. We would have ran out of information to talk about, but here we are talking about and celebrating the life of Sabu. Here we are talking about and celebrating the career of Jim Ross.
Actual factuals.
So, I mean, of course, Father Time and like Mother Nature, they're both undefeated in the internet. Internet's also undefeated.
Shout out to Father Khan. Hey, man, can y'all do right by Travis Hunter? That's all I want.
Bro, Travis Hunter's doing right by himself, man. There was a...
That's what I'm saying.
Did you see the story about him on the plane, bro?
I did. That's so 100 to stand up, and I'm glad the lady that experienced that told that story. Yeah.
I haven't bought a football jersey in years, and I'd be damned if I buy a Jags jersey. Austin Sanders getting my money.
Yeah. Well, just get the Colorado joint.
Did I say Austin?
Yes, Hunter.
Hunter, thank you. For some reason, I wanted to call him Travis Austin the whole time he was in Colorado, and I knew his last name was Hunter.
I don't know. Maybe Steve on the line one.
What?
He trying to send some beer.
What? All right. Fast forward. Anyway, so yeah, get well soon, Jim Ross. Let's get off this. Off the good stuff.
Because we got two somber ones in a row. We got to pick this energy up.
Oh no. Here we about to go. Shouts out Jay Rhodes.
What up?
Jay Rhodes is releasing These Dreams Ain't Free, which is the follow-up to his critically acclaimed book, These Beats Ain't Free. I paid for a copy in advance. I pre-ordered a copy. This fool unsigned and sent me a proof. And because he signed it, no take backsies, I'm keeping it and putting it in my collection. Love you, Jay Rhodes. But I bring him up to tell you this.
No take backs.
This week, we got music from, yes, IKR. You don't know who IKR is, I'm about to tell you. Marv 1 and Minnesota. Gang.
Uh-oh.
The album dropped. 8 songs. Bangers. 4 songs produced by Meta, 4 songs produced by Marv 1. IKR is the name of the group. It's available on Bandcamp. Go cop it.
Go get that.
Snoop Dogg drops another album today, 21 tracks with heavy production. We usually don't talk about Snoop albums, but
Snoop Dogg's a hot button topic in certain communities. So
wrestling is one of them.
This is true.
Which is why I'm bringing it up.
So you like this better than the Dre and Snoop that you told me about? That wasn't.
I haven't heard the new Snoop yet. Because it just dropped today. I'm talking about the list of the production that's on this. Heavy.
Okay.
Heavy production on this one. So because of that alone, I'm like, I don't think I ever recall Snoop doing a song with Knots. I think he has 2 or 3 on this album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pharrell's on there. Like there's some heavyweights on there. And I brought up Jay Rose because Exhibit drops another album today too.
Kingmaker.
Jay Rhodes has a production on there. This brother got a Grammy with Menace on Killer Mike's album Michael.
Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
And Michael probably was my album of the year for.
It was a lot of people's album of the year. It was Grammy nominated.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. So
Step Brothers Foe.
Oh yes, Don Tripp and Starlito.
Yes, lot of wrestling talk on there. There's a resurgence of hip hop and wrestling fused content, and we
like to say that we're responsible for that. Hey guys.
That's all.
Yeah. All right. Now, I told you we was gonna get off that nonsense.
Please.
What is his last name? Patrick.
Sertan.
Boy.
Star.
Oh boy. Say Patrick Star.
Sajak.
Clark.
Ewing.
Clark.
Oh.
Patrick Clark, the Velveteen Dream, formerly the Velveteen Dream. Got beef, man.
TVD, how?
This man got beef, dog. This man said somebody currently on the WWE roster has stolen his entire gimmick, including his entrance.
Word for word, ball for ball.
He's talking about Seth Rollins and Kung Fu Panda. I'm not playing the music for him.
Soldier Dream.
Bro, I've been saying this for about 3 years. I don't understand why Seth comes out every week dressed like a bad bitch.
Careful, you'll get us exiled.
It's cool. Oh, yeah, that's more stuff to talk about. I'm glad you mentioned that. We tripping. Super trip.
Hey,
like a baddie.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Like a vixen even. Like he's out here like a vixen, if you will.
Yeah, his wardrobe choices are meant to solicit a reaction.
And TVDs were actually part of his persona, even if part of his persona was built around an unmentioned pop sensation.
I'll keep it G with you. In 2025, if you don't have any context of who the Velveteen Dream was,
slap yourself.
Or you weren't, that's one part. But if you weren't watching during Black and Gold NXT and you don't really know the context of his character presentation, him saying something like that now today would almost just sound like sour grapes, and he's just hating on WWE because they're no longer dealing with one another, or you're just mad and angry. But there really are similarities to the presentation. TVD was more androgynous, kind of pulled from 80s Prince.
And Adrian Adonis, and Adrian Street, and Macho Man Randy Savage.
In the wrestling sense. So you take those wrestling names that were just mentioned, and then...
But Prince specifically...
Prince is the nucleus.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything else spawned off from that nucleus of Prince.
Like the androgynous presentation, but he's always surrounded by women. And it's like, these are draftable picks. These are draftable prospects that he was hanging around. And the fact that anytime he got into a feud with someone, he kind of started to mirror their presentation. And then he had where he would do these for the NXT pay-per-views. He would do these tribute gear. He would do tribute gear where he
like
would
Rick Rude.
He'd do Rick Rude,
NWO.
How he got the name Good Try Terry. How Good Try Terry got the name Good Try Terry begot us TVD dressing up like Good Try Terry at least twice. Randy Savage. So, and we've seen where, Seth will kind of morph back and forth between versions of himself, and then he may wear gear that is over the top, but it's also pointed in a specific direction depending on who the opponent is. He went back and dressed like the Shield to face Roman. You see his gear from the last couple WrestleManias. They're all inspired by something or someone. When he dressed like Rey Mysterio with the Halloween Havoc tribute gear, when him and Rey were beefing during what was like Thunderdome era. Mm-hmm. Like there's all different versions and different presentations where if you really look at it, take bias out of it, you can see where Patrick Clark has a point.
Yeah, it's one of those things because Patrick Clark has been out of sight, out of mind, Crazy to think this, Suave. Do you realize it's been damn near 7 years?
Has it?
Believe so, bro. Believe so. But Seth has only been in this incarnation of himself since who was it? Who was he in that faction with? He had some. Was it when the first time AOP was? Didn't they have his back or something? And then they got excommunicated.
Wait, who is this again?
AOP. When didn't they back up Seth Rollins for a little bit before they got cut?
It feels like that was kind of teased, or it was gonna happen, or something kind of close.
So
we were like the Monday Night Messiah situation.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Or Austin Theory was, he had a cup of coffee running with him.
It actually was 5 years for TVD. So that was around the same time, right after the pandemic, or 4 years rather. So not 7, closer to 7 than 0, but still, round it up, whatever. At any rate, it's still a long ass time, and then you just let it breathe. That's literally all that happens. That he let it breathe, and then he decided to go ahead and put the oxygen mask on himself, and boom, we have the Seth Fatine Rollins. Meanwhile, his wife got testicles.
Everybody relax.
Speaking of testicles, marbles, even.
Huevos?
Sí. Le Triple A, Mega Campeón, Alberto Del Rio, aka Alberto Del Patron. Currently still listed as the champion.
As of press time.
In AAA.
I saw an interesting video with some chaps discussing Lucha Libre and things of the sort. And they were talking about this very subject. And we're like, there's no way that we make it to When Worlds Collide and Alberto Del Rio is still champion. It's like they don't see how this happens. And quite honestly, I agree. I don't really see how you can, knowing what you know about him, given his prior conduct, how do you end up in a situation where he's involved?
It's been rumored around the internet that one of the people, actually the person that he was involved with romantically, that started the downward spiral of negative claims against Alberto, may be in talks and returning to the WWE.
The Cassie to his Diddy?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Talk shit and I'm finished. Yo. We ain't ready for that. Too soon, bro. Look. But yes. And you get that for your troubles. Here's what I'd be more worried about. I'm watching Worlds Collide for the wrong reasons. I don't care about TNA showing up. I don't care about WWE showing up. I care about seeing Rey Mysterio's role. This is number one. If we're going from worst to best, I care about Rey Mysterio's role in AAA. Because that matters.
It does.
Conan. I care about Conan.
How can you not?
And he ain't going nowhere, which is lovely.
Beautiful.
And the number one thing I want to see,
what's that?
Is a script get thrown out, and we see what really happens when Alberto gets Del Rio.
No,
no,
that's what you're not gonna get.
You're not gonna get a straight
look,
a string off the beaten path.
You're gonna get one of two results. Either he's there, and if he's there, they're gonna lean into whatever happens while he's there. If he's not, you will never hear about him again.
We thought, how many times in the last dog? Since we've been doing this show, how many times have we thought that we would never see or hear from Alberto Del Rio again? Didn't this man beat a charge, like a case? Kidnapping?
Oh, no, he got more lives than El Chapo when it comes to dealing with the law. What I'm saying is, in this particular situation where there has been a merger, an acquisition has been made of a prior existing entity, and people are being shuffled around, things are being moved, people are going to be working in another country, there's going to be some stuff that happens. The first public presentation of the new partnership, the new branding, whatever, under new management, that first presentation means everything to the future of that entity. True or false?
I'll stop you when you start lying.
Okay, cool. So now, knowing that, how you move forward means absolutely everything. So
what we can't get is what you're saying, Swab. What we can't get is Buff Bagwell versus Booker T on the first incarnation of WCW.
Can't have it.
We can't. Yeah,
can't have it
on Monday Night Raw. We can't. We
cannot
can't get
have
that.
it.
Nowhere close to that.
Now, what you can get is if El Patron is looking to do business and is gonna put over the next guy, like on some like, okay, we got a lump sum. We're going to pay you out, come in here, do the job. After that, because of our history and because of some of your situation, we got to let you cool off. However they break it to him. If they're able to make peace and do business, you going to put over whoever your flagship star is going to be. My money's on, Vikingo.
Dog, can you imagine what a 6 month to 1 year hiatus for Dominic could do for his career when he goes down to Mexico and comes back?
Bruh, like this puts a whole lot of motion on a lot of people. Like there's a segment,
Lucha Bros.
Yes.
Ray for a different reason.
Yes. Everybody in the LWO, everybody in Legado del Fantasma.
Especially the guy that levels up more so than the LWO does, in my opinion.
Every Spanish-speaking talent on your roster now has a place to go get way, 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 way over, and not always just be,
How about this?
Fodder on television.
How about this? The AAA Mega Championship now falls under the lineage of the WWE World Title. You know who becomes an instant contender?
Who that?
Carlito.
And then there's that.
Boy.
And let us not just make this a cultural thing. Like, you have heels, like, as bad as it's become and as little as they've really done with it. El Generico. Well, no. El Generico can go to Mexico, though.
But you're talking about Americano.
El Grande, yeah, El Grande.
Large coffee. Yeah, large coffee.
Yeah, large coffee. Large vanilla latte. But El Grande
large
Americano.
Large medium dude.
That's terrible. With a double shot of caffeine.
Shorty head. Pequito head.
Chad Gable can go to Mexico, and he can take the Creed brothers with him. They can do the gimmick, and you know which gimmick I'm talking about. All they need is a full-time security detail and a cartel pass.
Bro, can you imagine if they flipped the script and let the entire American Made go down there and be managed by La Parka? Possibilities are endless, bruh.
Hey, no. Now, why are you tripping? I read something. I don't know how true it is that the new version of LA Park is going to be one of the signees of the new regime. And I always thought that the Chad Gable story was going to play out where you were going to have a reveal of who his trainer was, or who gave him the mask, or who put him on the set, basically. I think they opted out of that because they didn't really have an option. But L.A. Park or La Parka, as we know and love him, that might not be a terrible idea.
Well, remember, L.A. Park is the OG. La Parka is the character created by the company.
Be that as it may, I think, don't they own it all at this point?
I don't think they own L.A. Park.
But do they not own La Parka?
They definitely own La Parka for sure.
Well, zip your coat up because it's finna get cold outside.
That's all right, Swab, because we seen them both. You
see what I'm saying? you talking about what?
We out here for
you know
real.
What I'm saying? You sitting there haggling over ranch and blue cheese. Like what? When is these wings getting to the table?
Man, couple other pieces too. This brings this could be a whole segment, and we could talk about it later. We could talk about it now. We can land the plane because it's going to come up again. Okay. Recently released Indi Hartwell shows up on TNA Impact this week. She wasn't Indi for long.
Everybody needs somebody sometimes.
Was this a spot date? Is she signed? Because if she's signed, just get. I almost said what I told you in text last night, and it would have came off the wrong way because of how English language works.
Yeah.
WWE. Figure out what the hell to do with TNA. Or leave them the hell alone, because for your talent to leave TV 1 week and show up down the channel dial the next week is very, how can I say, misleading. Sure, it's two different companies, but like you got talent from Tuesday nights that's showing up on Thursdays now.
They're an unofficial farm system at this point. Like I feel, look, what I've come to realize about cut season in WWE, we get a rash of cuts post WrestleMania every year, correct? Almost
guaranteed the week of April the 15th through 22nd, like sometime in that area, and it's usually the same day we record, right after we go off the air.
On schedule without delay. What quarter is that taking place in?
The top of Q2.
What normally happens at the beginning and end of quarters?
Reviews, board of director conversations, profit loss.
Profit loss. What happens in that same... Let's say that same quarter. What happens in that same quarter? What big event happens in that same quarter that these releases come?
So funny you should say that. Before this conversation, it would not have been WrestleMania. The answer is WrestleMania. But going back to when these releases have been happening in mass, probably about 6 or 7 years now, WrestleMania has been happening after Q2, not at the end of Q1 like previous.
Bing bong. So as WrestleMania has shifted, and as the goal of the company has been to look better on paper year in and year out, to drive up the stock price, to drive up the value, to drive up the evaluations, because there are people who are trying to look good on paper for investments.
On my mom and on my hood.
I look fly, I look good.
For these investments.
On paper. So I just have basically my biggest money grossing event possibly of the year, depending on, who does what. You backdoor that by shaving the top heavy part of the financial roster, and at the end of Q2, what do you look like?
You look like a hero. You look like you know how to manipulate some money around.
Exactly. And a great number of these people end up back in WWE in less than a year. And what made me realize it was the situation with Braun Strowman. I know we talking about Indi Hartwell, but this Braun Strowman situation, it'll
Great segue.
According to what we're reading on the internet, Strowman and WWE have parted ways, but at the same time, they're also still on good terms where he can be brought back almost not quite spot date-ish, but then also evaluate working together on a longer term basis later. They cut him because his, air quotes, salary was too high. So you shaved a bunch of money off of the invoices when you're going to bring him back at a lower number.
Remember, a couple things happened with this. when the contracts were renegotiated, they took away the ability for social media, third-party streaming revenues, as well as merchandise revenue in exchange for a higher salary. Of course, this is what we gathered from the information. We're not saying we're on the inside, giving people the jewels, but
trying to use enough common sense to be in the know.
Yeah, from what we've gathered, this seems to be the case. And if the salaries that we're seeing are coming out are actually anything remotely close to true, that theory is being corroborated by the output. That said, I've said this for the last 3 or 4 years. People like Omos, Roman Reigns, even Brock Lesnar, hell, John Cena, Randy Orton at this point could benefit from this. The attraction clause. They're bulletproof at this point. I know Randy has something to go after now because he wants to try to chase Cena, at least wants to tie Cena, but he definitely wants to chase Cena. Don't know if it's going to happen after the loss in St. Louis, but one can dream, and by that one, I mean Randy Orton. I digress. You put an attraction clause in there, it's like Andre the Giant. You go chill whenever you need it. Like you're needed in case of emergency, break glass. You got a whole angle, few weeks of TV, pay-per-view, go home.
It's probably the equivalent of the Legends deal if we keep it in G.
It's an active Legends deal. It's basically what it is.
Yeah. So there is that.
Yeah. I think Braun Strowman. Salute to him and WWE for finding an amicable way to help him heal, because he's visibly not 100% from the last time he came back to the WWE, and probably hasn't been for quite some time. But to do matches with people like LA Knight and Jacob Fatu, especially Jacob Fatu week after week, and then put Jacob Fatu over. Even Bronson Reed, good Lord. I mean, yeah. That's probably when he got re-injured, was dealing with Bronson Reed, because we're talking about a total combined weight of 700 pounds, bro.
Hey. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And then I found out, too, like, he's got bad knees. I found out today through a orthopedist that 1 pound of weight equals 4 pounds of pressure on a knee. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Stop skipping leg day.
There's that.
But to tie it to Indy Hartwell, all it means is that when people get cut or shifted or pay garnished or let go for whatever reason, there's enough this is why we're such advocates for there being many places for people to go work, so you don't have a situation where they're doing bad. And for Indy Hartwell to end up where she ended up as quickly, that may mean that there's hey, we want you here, it's just financially right now we need to make this happen so we can send you over here to hold you until we're ready to do something back over here.
What's wild is it seems like I never would have imagined to see, not that I even cared to, this is no disrespect to Indy Hartwell, I never would have imagined seeing her on Impact, let alone seeing it this fast. I tell you what I am interested in is the trajectory of Gigi Dolan post WWE, because I think she'll be back sooner than anybody based on the character that she's building for herself outside the company right now.
I mean, if the scuttlebutt online is true, there's supposed to be a refocusing of resources on women's talent coming here soon anyway, so I think every last one of them will probably be back in short order. Man,
speaking of refocusing fuzz on women's talent, I don't know how true this is, but I guess Otis posted a picture of a request from catering where I guess all of the Little Debbie snack cakes that were back there now have a charge associated with them.
What?
And they shouldn't be used for things other than eating, other than consumption. The men are being charged $1 per cake, and women are being charged like $1.50 per cake. That didn't send you that?
I've seen it. I didn't read it because I was like, this doesn't affect me one way or the other. But yeah, go ahead and explain.
It's just the
why is there a price discrepancy between what men and what women pay?
And allegedly, when women are getting paid less, you get charged more. This says,
bruh, that's That's as out of pocket as it gets, ain't it?
This is an email from WWE Talent Relations, catering policy update, snack cake availability. Effective immediately.
No, that's why I hate corporate. You sent out an email about this. What?
Effective immediately, WWE will be making adjustments to its catering offerings at all televised and non-televised events, beginning with tonight's live taping of Monday Night Raw. Due to continued reports and direct observations of excessive consumption and misuse of snack cake bar by a select number of individuals, we have made a decision to remove the following items from the complimentary catering access: zebra cakes, Swiss rolls, cosmic brownies, oatmeal cream pies. These are all Little Debbie products, by the way.
Pop-Tarts.
Wasn't expecting this one, were you?
Yeah, no, this one. I didn't have this on my bingo card at all.
While these items will no longer be available free of charge, they will be available for purchase at the designated catering station. $1 per item, male talent and staff. $1.50 per item, female talent and staff. Note, the pricing difference accounts for the average supply and demand trends observed during the past several hours. Hold on.
This is body shaming, sexism. This is so wrong.
Oh, I didn't read
this
that.
is trash.
Oh my.
Who going first?
Hold on.
Oh my God.
We understand this may be disappointing to some, but please remember that catering is a privilege, not a right, and we must manage resources responsibly to ensure fairness and professionalism backstage. Any further misuse of catering or hoarding behavior may result in additional restrictions. Thank you for your cooperation. Hoarding snack cakes, you be?
Like what? What? Oh my God.
Bruh.
Hey,
first of all, we've covered some things in our time doing this show.
This is petty. This is petty. No Messiah.
No Messiah. This is wild.
Oh my God. So, okay. All right. Here we go. So, not only are we watching the snack table, we're actively monitoring the snack table where free food and libations are available for the talent.
We have turned the snack cake bar into a concession stand, backstage for talent and staff.
But we are charging two different prices for the same items
based on gender.
Based on gender, but also based on I guess their observations of hoarding. So you mean to tell me you have female talent just scraping Little Debbie's into a backpack and running off on the plug?
Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you what this really is.
Wait, hold on.
We don't want you ladies eating snack cakes because we body shame around here. So we gonna charge you more to eat snack cakes, and we watching you anyway. So we gonna check how much you done spent, and that's when we know, hey, lay off the snack cakes.
Hold on, bro. Let's talk about this for a second.
This is bad. This is terrible.
I was in Greensboro, North Carolina yesterday.
Bet you wasn't eating Little Debbie's.
I was not. I was at the Corey Convention Center.
Oh, this is hilarious.
By which a large area of the parking lot was blocked off for roughly 6 RVs, 2 or 3 TV production trucks, and 5 or 6 cargo trucks for WWE. They're going to be doing Friday Night SmackDown there tonight on Friday, May 16th. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
2020.
I got 5 on it.
Still got it. Still good. There was no talent that I can remember that was seen on TV Monday at Monday Night Raw.
This is crazy.
And that was in, I believe, what, Louisville? I think it was in Louisville, Kentucky. There's no house shows anymore, right? Not during the week, just on the weekends, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so people were off from Tuesday and Wednesday, and anybody that's from Monday that's going to be on SmackDown tonight probably got to Greensboro yesterday, or at the very least flew to Charlotte, because you're not flying into Raleigh unless you're getting a really cheap ticket. Greensboro is not a hotbed for air travel, but Charlotte's only 85 miles away. It's probably a better bet to fly to Charlotte and catch a ride up.
Hotbed.
So you mean to tell me these people who are going home on Monday night or Tuesday morning have nothing better to think about than how many snack cakes they can take back to their hotel room and on this airplane, and they're probably one bag that they're walking with anyway?
Listen.
Or are these the tour bus people like, I don't know, Cody or Randy, that need to restock their cabinets inside the tour bus?
Man, listen. Randy has already admitted to having a Nutella addiction, so he ain't in here messing with Little Debbie's.
But I'm sure he ain't hoarding anyway.
I'm interested in how long these snack tables were monitored to capture this data. I'm really concerned with the data capture for this particular investigation. Who was assigned to this?
You know what I'm more concerned with than what you're talking about with the data capture?
What's that?
The fact of who put this out there. Otis. Like
that's just low hanging fruit. That's Otis. That's Otis being the one to put this on blast. It puts a comical spin on it, because that's low hanging fruit.
Oh
but
boy,
the details. It's not about who let this out. It's about the details within. Inquire within. Who was in charge of this operation?
This is the equivalent of me saying,
this is not a cost-cutting measure. This is just petty.
It's equivalent of saying somebody got busted open, and this is you coming back saying, 17 staples to the back of the skull, right at the base of it, right by the C1 and C3. Like that's what this letter is.
Like, bruh, somebody gotta tell me why.
Man,
tell me why.
Two things before we get out of here. One, sponsors. Sherwin Vega Pro Audio, SherwinVega.com. Gary Henry, what up? VitaHermosaCigars.com. Vita Hermosa, it's a beautiful life. We're going to be at the Alpha Phi Alpha National Convention this year in Philadelphia. In July, we're going to be at the Oak City Cigar Festival in Raleigh, June 6th through 8th. Chicago, Detroit, you're on notice. You can pick up Vita Hermosa Cigars, and if you're in the St. Louis area, at Ash and also at Sip and Smoke. So yeah, we out here active. We doing big. We out, dog. It's not a game. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, Suave and I saw online. Every time I see this, we get chills and goosebumps. We both do. And prisoner of the moment, we're always having the same conversation, and we got to go back and revisit it.
Right.
Bad Bunny at what was
Backlash.
it? Backlash 2022.
I think that's 23. Puerto Rico.
Yes. Backlash Puerto Rico. That's what it was. Backlash Puerto Rico. Bad Bunny coming out to face Damian Priest. The entire crowd rocking to every word that Bad Bunny
said. I don't know the words.
I'm getting chills with just you doing that. And it made me think, because the question that was being posed was that the best entrance or the best pop that you ever heard in professional wrestling? And a few came to mind.
Okay.
Smaller venue, and we talked about this on the show before, but monumental monster pop for Rob Van Dam the night he came out to face a heel Sting on TNA Impact. And the significance of that was Rob had just been let go from WWE while he was champion. And
yes, this oddly enough, that him and our guest of honor today, Sabu, got pulled over, firing up the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, and so it led to a champion having to be completely misbooked to get out of an angle, only for him to be released. He goes to TNA, shows up at the last segment, the exact same segment that WWE is rivaling with the handshake between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. And RVD squashed this thing in probably about 45 seconds. But the pop was amazing. I was also reminded of AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble when he debuted in 2015. That is all-timer. People heard the music, didn't know what it was, but when they saw the P1 on the screen, everybody knew, and it was in Florida.
I'm sure Austin has one in there somewhere. Just pick one.
I mean, glass breaking, that might be one of those ones that's like Teflon. Like, no matter what you do, what you say, it can't.
And then obviously the Road Warriors are going to have one somewhere in there, because the whole idea of Road Warrior pop is the reason we're having this conversation. Triple H coming back from tearing his quad in 2002. That was a huge reaction.
That got me at home because I was never really a Triple H fan before that, and I got sympathy because of the injury being so catastrophic. Like, it was just, you just wanted to see, like, for me, I wanted to see why people are buying in, and that's when I kind of turned the corner on him, was right then.
Bray Wyatt coming back to WWE.
The first time. Yeah.
No, this last.
Oh, right before he. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That was.
Yeah.
That first night.
The return in the post Vince era.
Yeah, that first night where he was speaking as Wyndham. That one was
good too. I'm like, no, when they did the whole at the end of the pay-per-view, they did the whole entrance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they set up the whole door and did the long version of the entrance. And
all those were good, bro. All those were good. And then we started talking about these international shows when Randy had his whole theme sung, and it was just so loud, word for word, which started the trend because Randy talks some smack online, and then people in the US are only singing the chorus, and they're trying to follow that lead, and it's just not the same. But then you hit me with one that just made me throw my headset, bro.
Which was
Jay in Paris.
Usos in Paris.
And I want y'all to understand something. This conversation will continue to happen, and these will not fall off the list. These are all timers. All timers.
Depending on how many we just ran off, that might be the top 10.
But here's what's crazy. WWE is going back to Paris with Jay, barring something completely ignorant or egregious, with Jay as the champion this summer.
I mean, yeah, that they might have to go ahead and give him back them Fireflies. Like, from a television aspect, I understand now why they don't. At first, I thought it was like, okay, if the Wyatt Six are going to be a thing, that's Jay's move to avoid a situation with them until it comes back around. Now, from the production side, I understand why they took it.
This looks way better
than Lights.
Than this. Because I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not gonna say it's better.
No, it looks. The presentation is better. Because I'm telling you, I was there. I was like, looking at it in the crowd is one thing. Seeing that on TV doesn't translate the same.
I'll ride with that with this though. On television, when you're trying to sell the product and the champion and his presentation to potential sponsors, it looks better to see the faces of the people that are so invested in this person.
Especially coming through the crowd.
Because Jay doesn't look like the typical person that you would be pitching to a room full of sponsors like that. But when you see that he connects with the people that look the way they look in the audience, it makes those people who are going to invest money that much more comfortable.
It's so funny that 13 or 12 years later, Jay is Roman. That's amazing.
and y'all talking about the bloodline don't feed families.
Boy, the bloodline, boy. The bloodline might be the reason why the Steiners didn't hold a tag team gold in ECW. Why you bully?
The bloodline is the lifeline of professional wrestling.
Literally
at this point.
Since the 1960s, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment.
Sad, man. Come on.
Yo, look down here on Suave side. www.shop.sjv.io/BPBC. We are official vendors at www.shop.com. Suave, you
hit the link. It's in the bio on all of the social media platforms. If you want to find a way to support the show, you can always send us to it directly. Zell me mine. But for this week, with this situation, you were gonna go shop with them anyway. So use our link, support the show, and everybody wins.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Suave, I never slap money in the face. I gotta do one thing on this one. You'll ride with me.
Okay.
Buy everything but your belts. Unless you're getting replicas, that's one thing. But if you need to get a custom belt, we got a guy for that.
Yeah. Now, custom, we know where to send you. But for the full official replicas, get that. Look, our guy is going to get his replicas through this link. This is completely
from now on.
100% on the level, 100% official. You are shopping with WWE. You are using our affiliate link.
And you are rocking with the best.
Rocking with the absolute best.
Absolutely.
This is yet another way for you to share your love for pro wrestling.
Like, rate, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell that friend, and tell a friend, and tell a friend again. Yeah, all that. It's all that.
All of it. And that's how we live our lives around here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And on that note, Swabs, I've already done half your dirty work for you. Take us to the house.
Pencil pushers, like, rate, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. And then
tell that friend again. I did pretty damn good.
Yeah. Stay tuned to all the socials. We're going to let you know anytime there's a sale so that you can maximize what you got going on when you shopping through the link. Pencil pushers. Heads up. Pencils down. I don't know what he's doing.